Hey, intuitive viewers, how's it going? So I have a new mic, so hopefully it'll be okay. Yeah, so I wanted to come on and just kind of see where you guys were with the whole Trump getting arrested thing. It's finally here. Um, I'm getting a lot of different messages, and I did want to give you guys kind of an update and read on a few things that I didn't get to on Thursday night. So um, yeah, we've had some Wi-Fi issues, and so I haven't been able to record for a few days. I wanted to do this a couple of days ago, and we didn't have Wi-Fi for 3 days. So we did it like in the morning, early morning, nighttime, but nothing during the day. So hopefully they've got that all squared, and we will have it from now on. But I did want to kind of update you on some of the stuff I've been getting about this, and we have to, if this, so when on Thursday night, if you weren't there, I had said that I heard my guide said the question was which would come first, Fonnie Willis or Bragg, and I felt it would be Fonnie Willis, and then but my guides were saying it was going to be Bragg. So if that is the case, and if that does happen, which it does seem like it's imminent, we have to give my guides props, because the first vision of that, the King Kong on the Empire State Building. And remember, I said we could take this literally, and it would be like, it would happen like the first case would kind of be in New York, and that would be like the first kind of thing to start taking him down. And here we are. So if that is the case, man, were they like spot on? And I have to just give that up to my guides, because I really didn't know how symbolic or metaphoric or or literal that video or that film scene was. And we're talking about the King Kong scene at the end of King Kong, which was always that's what started this channel. It told me that Trump was going to be that was Trump basically, and he was going to have a big fall, and it was going to be a lot of things, not just one thing. And he was going to be mad and fighting all the way, and it was going to be a kind of an epic fall, and that we were all meant to see it. It was meant to be a spectacle for the world, basically, and to help us to learn hopefully. So so some of us more than others maybe, but hopefully this will happen. And I think that we can take a page out of what Michael Cohen has been saying, which is that this is not about revenge. This is about breaking the law, right? And taking accountability, being responsible for something for once in his freaking life. So, right. So by the law, right? Because he's had a lot of failures. I mean, obviously he's lost, elections, and he's lost elections for the Republican Party, and he's had failure, events, and he's had, failures in court over and over and over again, right? But this is more of a breaking the law and taking accountability. And yeah, so to me, it does feel like it's going to happen. It does feel like it's going to happen next week. I kind of felt like it could have happened Friday, because I just felt like this build. And I also felt like other people were starting to know what was happening. And I wanted to check in on him first. So let's check in on him and see how he is doing, what he's thinking, how he's feeling. So with him, I'm getting just a lot of anger, and I'm just stepping into his energy, you know, it's a hard thing to explain, but I'm just kind of stepping in him. I'm used to stepping into it. I kind of keep my distance a little bit. I'm used to stepping into his energy just because I've done it for a long time, but it's like old, you know, like an old icky sock that you put back on. So he's so so I feel like he is kind of resigned. But I also feel like he feels like his people are going to come to his aid in some way. I feel like he's been told, like, we're organizing this protest and we're organizing this and that. I feel like they're trying really hard to rile people up. And I feel like that's what he's counting on. He's counting on his people, his people. So you're going to see a lot of trying to rile up people, a lot of Civil War talk, that kind of stuff. But it's fizzles. There's just not the people there that there were. Yeah, I'm getting chills with that. And there might be a few, you know, crazy things that happen. Just like a few kind of fringe character kind of things. And I do feel like there might be some protests here and there, which is their right? It's their right to protest. That's fine. But that's all I'm seeing. I'm not really seeing anything groundbreaking or anything like, oh, we better not do this or anything like that. It doesn't feel like that, especially not in New York. It feels kind of quiet. I said something with Tennessee for some reason. Tennessee just came up. So there might be something that happens in Tennessee or something around Tennessee. But I'm not getting like this nationwide kind of, it's nothing like that. It just feels like little pockets here and there. And there might be some little, you know, shows of force here and there, but it's not, they just don't have the support that they did at one time. And I think that they want so much to believe and they want to convince us. So I feel like it's even going to kind of take the wind out of their sails, realizing, ooh, we may be in trouble because we just don't have the support we thought we did. And a lot of people don't want to go to jail, you know? So, but I am feeling like there'll be pockets of things here and there, but that's it. It doesn't seem like anything huge. It definitely doesn't feel like Civil War or something. It doesn't feel like anything like that. It's a circus as far as like reporting. I just heard gag order, so they might do a gag order of some kind at some point. I just heard gag order for some reason. So there might be yeah, something with a gag order. I don't know. That just came up. I feel like he may like show up during the day. You'd think that, I feel like he wants to make this his moment kind of thing, drama queen kind of stuff. You know, he's a drama queen, as we know. Like Steve Bannon, like which is Roger Stone. They're all a bunch of drama queens that like to perform. And so I feel like there might be something like that. I also think that he feels like if he is there, more people will show up, more people will come. But there's a lot of people there like that are like, we hate you. No way, you know. So I don't know. So maybe that's just an idea that they're throwing around right now, but maybe he'll be talked out of it because I feel like it's going to work against him. You know, again, so, you know, you guys, we've talked a lot about this kind of like, this is, they've played this act as far as it can go, right? everything they're doing now is just falling flat. All of these stupid things they're doing in Congress are falling flat. It's the whole thing with Fox is a big, huge mess. And, so they have ridden this train as far as it will go. And they just can't get it through their heads. And so I feel like there'll be some last ditch efforts to kind of push things through, do things they want to do. They're definitely making little headways with women's health, trans stuff, books, just weird things. It's like, why are you going after these groups? Because they can vote too. And it's just weird. And women, I mean, it's such a losing issue. So I don't get it at all. But they are. So they're doing some things that they feel like, but they're so unpopular. These are not popular things that they're doing. So they're doing them because they can, because they think it's some kind of winning issue, but they're going to find out that people don't like this. Again, they're just not getting it through their heads. And that's the way it is. The sad thing is that people on the ground, people that are just regular people, suffer in the meantime for these kinds of messes that they make. They're just basically toddlers having kind of a hissy fit in the last little power that they have. They're kind of just, using it to throw little hissy fits, and that's it. So that's what I'm getting with him, and kind of where he is and where his supporters are right now. I did want to look at a few things that people wanted me to look at, that I didn't get a chance to look at on Thursday night. One was about the Russian nuclear submarines. And I was just going to kind of read on Russia and its nuclear, what they're trying to do or what they're doing. So there's something false about this. It feels fake. It feels false. It feels like they're trying to scare and distract people is what it feels like. Because it just doesn't feel like it's serious, but I do feel like it's like, look over here, be scared over here and don't look over here. So I feel like, okay, so I'm getting chills with that. So that there's something that they're trying to distract from, and saying nuclear is a good way to distract from things, but I feel like it may be how badly things are going for them in the war. I feel like they don't want, and they're talking about playing for time. So I feel like they're trying to play for time. And so you're going to probably hear some crazy things coming out of Putin, and long game. I'm hearing they're trying to play a long game. So that you might hear things out of Putin that are just nutty, crazy, things to saber rattle, to try to distract and get people to look over here rather than over here. So just look for that. Be aware of that, and try not to be reactive to everything that he says, because he's just pretty desperate, it feels like. And I'm getting something about scans. I feel like he's going through scans. This has to do with his health. I feel like there's something with, he's being scanned for something with health. This is for entertainment purposes only, by the way. This whole video is for entertainment purposes only. But there's some kind of scan I feel like he's going through. And there's time at play here. I don't know if this has to do with his health, or if it has to do with what they were talking about before, kind of the long game, playing the long game. Maybe Trump could get in as president. You can hear him, Trump is really kissing up to Putin right now. So really, really trying to get his help. help me, help me. So he's really trying hard, but this is crumbling. I'm telling you guys, this is 2016, 17, 18, maybe they were riding high, but ever since COVID, it just feels like this is just a losers. Because I feel like it's just downhill. It's just downhill. And everything they do is going to kind of be, they might have tiny wins, or things that look like wins, but ultimately it's just not. Yeah, I'm getting major chills with that. It's just like it's falling flat. It's falling flat. And it's because we're moving on. We're moving on. We're literally kind of growing up and growing out of this. So we're starting to get it. We're starting to understand, maybe one at a time, maybe very slow, but we're getting it. Somebody wanted me to look at Fonnie Willis and see where she is in her. This could be so my guides had highlighted March and fall, not March and September. So maybe this might be spring and maybe hers is fall. I feel like it's sooner than that. I feel like she's going to bring it sooner than that. I think hers might be summertime. One for every season. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Jack Smith and during the holidays, and Fonnie Willis for summer. And let's see, who else? Yeah, so I feel like she might be close, maybe middle of summer or something, because I feel like, but gosh, it feels soon. And either she's trying to do this soon, like this is what she's aiming for, or this is what's going to happen. But gosh, it feels close. So, but I feel like she's like on track, on target, still looking. She hasn't slowed down at all. I feel like she's even kind of sped things up in a way. And I keep seeing men around her. So I feel like she's got some really great attorneys helping her or something, really. But I see like men, there's a few men around her that are really excellent and are completely like have her back and are really good, like a really good team she's put together. So that's what I'm seeing for her, for Fonnie Willis. So she's not off track at all. She's on track. Also, somebody wanted me to look at the New York transportation system. Oh, so when I looked at this, I looked at this morning, and I got that things will start looking better around 2025. It's going to take some time, and I feel like there's a lot of red tape in New York, and especially when it comes to transportation, I feel like there's just a lot of bureaucracy and red tape. So I felt like 2025 would kind of be when things are like done, solidified, better. So I hope that answers that question about 2025. And then another person asked me if Ashley Babbitt was the pipe bomber. And I looked at that and the answer was no. But that I got that they either know who it is or they're very close to knowing who it is. And I also got there were going to be Republican lawmakers charged. So just FYI, it's kind of a throwaway. Oh, they'll be charged. But I did get there's going to be several charged. And I am really not sure when that is going to happen, but I did feel like it was the DOJ, which was interesting because I thought maybe that's why he passed off this Trump stuff to Jack Smith so that he could concentrate on the lawmakers. It's a possibility, but for right now, I just know that some of them are going to get charged. And they're going to have a cow over it. So they are, I don't know about their supporters or whatever, but they're going to have a cow over it. So just so you know, like Bart Simpson, they're going to have a cow, man. So that's the way it goes when you're do an insurrection. So, okay. And then the other thing, the last thing I wanted to do was somebody was asking me, because I looked at Ukraine 5 years in the future, and give or take a year, a year or two. These are just, time is so weird anyway. It can feel like it's tomorrow and it's still like 8 months away. But the point is that it eventually happens. It's just that it takes some time. And so, I was seeing the January 6th hearings like 2 years before it happened. So that's how long it can be, but you just pick up on what you pick up on. And when you're in that when you're on that frequency or whatever, when you're kind of looking and you're kind of tuning in, what you pick up is what you pick up. So I feel like what I pick up is what I pick up, but I'm going to look at, somebody wanted me to look at the United States 10 years in the future. They said 5, and I thought, well, maybe 10 would be better, because 5, it seems too soon to me for some reason. So I thought maybe let's do 10, and let's just look at the US and just see what's going on. And I thought it also might give us an idea about things like Civil War, what happened to the Republican Party, that kind of stuff. So let's look at that. And I thought I would do that one. Some of these I did beforehand. I'm just letting you know what I got. And then this one I thought I would do live just to see what happens. Okay, so I am getting some, for some reason, they're pushing me to Alaska. So I feel like there's going to be some environmental changes there. Did not expect that to come up, but they're talking about Alaska and some environmental changes there. Even some, I just heard species. So there may be some species that are lost maybe in that area, something like that, because it feels like it's global warming related. Activism. So activism is very, very, I just heard making progress. So activism is making progress in 10 years from now. But I think that's why they're saying, they're giving me that on the heels of that, because even though they're starting out with something that's not so hot, not so great, they're letting us know that activism is really taking hold, and it's becoming very, very effective in 10 years from now. So I feel like they're letting us know that as well. Oil free. So I feel like there's not a lot of oil use anymore. They're saying oil free, but I want to just, being a human being, being like, how could that be? But I feel like we're maybe almost oil free, or we just don't use it as much anymore. It's kind of out of our regular usage kind of thing. Okay, interesting so far, right? 10 years. Okay, that's, what is that? 2033. And they're showing me the United States. They're talking about coalitions. So they're showing me like a map. I'm asking, are we still the United States? They said yes. So we're still the United States. But there are coalitions, kind of like coalitions. It's almost like they've grouped certain states together. The West Coast, some things on the East Coast, some things in the South. And they've given them like different colors. So I feel like they're kind of like coalitions. I feel like there's something to do with taxes, something to do with laws, something to do with like social things, maybe even like gay marriage and things like that. I'm not sure. Or maybe abortion, that kind of thing. But I feel like people, it's interesting because it feels like people kind of like it better. It's made like tempers go down. It's made people a little more, it's made people a little more comfortable, I guess. Because I don't feel the same kind of like tensions and stuff. It feels better. But I do feel like there's these grouped states where it's like, these are like coalition. It has something, guns, I heard guns. So there's these states, I think what they're trying to tell me is that there are states that have coalitions, and all of those states have band together to do these certain things, and they have the taxes worked out for those things. And there's very strict kind of guidelines for those things. But we're still the United States. And it's kind of like people know what to expect when you go to this area, when you go to this area, when you go to this area, and everybody's okay with it. They're kind of, everybody's kind of letting everybody live the way they want to. And it doesn't feel as, none of it really feels as extreme as stuff is now. It feels a little tampered down. There's something about education in the South. I almost feel like there's like what this is, almost like churches involved in school or something in the South. So I feel like there's something with that. So maybe it's more of a old-timey religious-y kind of school system or something. I'm not sure. But I kind of feel like by this time, people, it's like, you know what you're getting, you know what you'll be getting. And I feel like the rest of the United States is just kind of like it is. But these coalitions are kind of like, and it almost feels like they kind of like lobby for stuff. It feels different. I can't really explain what and maybe I just don't fully understand it because it's just not something that can be explained in a few pictures and in a few words. It has to be kind of like more, but I'm talking it out loud to try and figure out what this is. But I guess the main thing is that things seem a little calmer. We've worked things out the way that we're comfortable with them, and it seems to be working for the time being. And I feel like there's a Republican president at this time, but I feel like he's like, people like him, like he's a he almost feels like an independent. Maybe I shouldn't say Republican. He feels like he's maybe was Republican, now independent. It almost feels like an Adam Kinzinger or somebody like that. Because I feel like he's a bit younger. People like him. It's a man, definitely a man, a white man. And I feel like, but people kind of like him. And everything seems a bit more, it just seems a bit more calmed down. It doesn't seem as divided for some reason, even though we're divided up, it doesn't seem like we're that divided anymore. It almost feels like, you know, that the European Union, it kind of feels like that. Like there's a cohesive understanding and a cohesiveness, but at the same time, they all have respect. All the countries have respect for each other, but there's kind of a cohesive understanding. It's almost like that, but we still are the United States. I mean, my guys are saying, yeah, you were the United States and we operate as the United States, but it's kind of like, this is the way it ended up. Anything else? Oh, okay. Okay. So they're saying one thing that is different with these coalitions is healthcare. Something is different about healthcare. I feel like some are more like, it's more like they pay for everything, and other places it's like you pay for your own stuff. It's different. Okay. So where we've got a couple of things, education, they're showing a couple of things that are different, and then they're talking about healthcare being a little bit different. I'm going to ask about voting. I just want to see what is going on with voting. I feel like, okay. I feel like the electoral college may be gone. I feel like it may be done. And I feel like there's a reason that happened, but I don't know what the reason was. Because it sucked, maybe. It sucked. I feel like something happened, or there was some kind of reason why it kind of like it was finally gotten rid of. I feel like there are a lot more Supreme Court justices. I feel like there are a lot more for some reason, like 20 or something. I feel like there are a lot more. And again, it feels like there's a reason this happened. There's a reason for this. There's a reason why. I do feel like some of the borders have changed for like some of the ocean, or not ocean front, but yeah, like water where there's like the tip of Florida seems to be like it's blacked out. So I feel like there's some areas that are gone, or they're not inhabitable anymore. You can't really inhabit them anymore. But it doesn't look like very much, which is kind of interesting. And they're showing me lots of small, like really little technology, like little technologies. I keep seeing people go like that for their, it could be like a bracelet or something. They're paying like that and like banking like that. I don't think it's like in their skin. I don't think so. I mean, that would seem really weird, but there's something that's like, I feel like technology is itty bitty, like really small. And they're showing me a lot of like robotic things, like things that move on. Oh, maybe they're showing like, because they're showing him like stacking shelves and things. And so I'm wondering if like maybe more robotics are doing like labor kind of jobs or something, more labor jobs or something. Because I feel like it's something like that. I'm not sure. I don't want to get anyone worried about that, about AI, but it does seem like they're kind of like used for labor things. Can't get over the technology. So it seems like everything's little, really, really little. I don't feel like there's been another pandemic or anything like that. It actually more feels like progress, like more progress than like, I'm sure there has been things that have happened, but my guides are not, they're not emphasizing anything like that. And it could be just, we're not supposed to know, but it does feel like there's something that has made us kind of move in the way of progress. So I'm going to leave it there for now. But maybe we'll check in on this, you know, I don't know, another 6 months or something. We'll do that again. That was really fun. I got a lot of visuals, and not a lot of feelings, which is kind of interesting. Except when I was trying to feel my way through the United States, I'm like, what is this? So that was very interesting though, huh? I'll have to go back and listen to it because I can't remember. I feel a little dizzy right now, and I feel a little bit like, so yeah, I'll have to go back and listen to that. But yeah, so anyway, guys, we're gonna have a special Thursday night live on Tuesday night this week because I'm gonna be gone Thursday. So we're gonna do a special Tuesday night live. I want to apologize to Debbie's audience because we did not have Wi-Fi. I could not get onto her Friday. So I will be back whenever she wants me. I felt so bad. And I was dying to talk about this stuff. So I felt so bad that I couldn't get on, but it is what it is. Technology is what it is. And the last thing I wanted to tell you is that, my sister Chris is doing readings again, more full time. So if you want a reading, you can get one, and I'll put her information below. She's a great reader. I don't do really traditional readings anymore, but she does, and she has like a half hour. I think she does them. Yeah, she's really good, and she's really good at past life stuff. So if you're very interested in past life readings, she does those. So yeah, so I hope you guys are doing really well. Indictment Eve, we made it. And this is just the beginning. I keep getting told by my guides, this is just the start. This is the break in the dam is basically what it is. And I think we've talked about how this is just gonna keep rolling along. So, and we'll get through it together, right? We always do. That's what we do best. We get through it together. So let's do that. Yeah, so I'll see you guys Tuesday night, and join the club. If you want to join the club, hit the join button. What else do I have to say? Hit the subscribe button. All the things I always forget to say. Hit the subscribe button. Yeah, anyways, you guys take care, and I will talk to you Tuesday night. Okay, bye.